Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Open Office Hours. I'm Crystal Hinkle. I'm part of the team here. I will let the ladies introduce themselves.
Hey, everybody. It's Tatiana. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. It's Hannah. What's up?
Love it. So happy to see you all. Thank you for joining us. For those of you that this is your first time in Open Office Hours, welcome. We're super happy to have you. This is really a live Q&A session. It does not matter what your questions are. It could be anything from, how to set up a custom field to a specific workflow. It really doesn't matter. We're here to help as much as we can. We do utilize the Q&A. So if you have questions, just go ahead and drop them right into the Q&A. We will get to those. So if you see us glancing at different screens, that's probably what we're doing. And for sure, for those of you that are joining us, and we've seen you here before, thank you. We love having you back every week. It's been a few weeks since I've been here, so I'm excited. I'm excited to be back in Open Office Hours. So with that said, maybe what I'll do, I'd love, maybe we'll take a second as we wait for the questions to kind of start rolling in. Hannah, do you want to talk about our referral program? I'm kind of putting you on the spot, sorry.
No, totally fine. Yes, I can go ahead and jump in. And so let me go ahead and share my screen here. And so for those of you who don't know or are newer to Synchro and haven't joined our referral program, it's awesome if you refer one of your fellow MSPs to Synchro who is not currently using Synchro, that then you are eligible to get a $100 gift card of your choosing after they've been on board with us for about 2 months, which is awesome. And even better, they get one too. And so where to get that set up is going to be actually in the App Center. So I'm going to head there. And we actually have an app card for the referral program. So here, if you click on the app card, it'll take you through the details to get set up. What ends up happening is that you actually get your own account. And then that way, once you set up the account, you can keep track of your referrals. It gives you a link that you can post on social media platforms, as well as to just send to the people that you'd like to refer. And then when they click on your link, this is what they would see. And then they go ahead and fill out the form. Once they've come on board with Synchro for about 2 months, that's when you guys would check your email and then get the gift card, which is awesome. If anybody has any questions, let us know, but I will drop this in the chat box for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, kind of a win-win there. What I was going to do, because sometimes I do this and I startle everyone. I wanted to, I was going to see if I have, I think Hannah, if you're host, do you see the option to launch a poll down there?
Yes. There's polls. Okay. And then launch.
Yay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. It's just nice to know where you are at with your journey and Synchro. So, if you let us know, that would be great. I see a question here from Evan, and I wasn't here last week, but is it okay if I read it out loud? And if anyone wants to hop in, let's see, 2 questions. Is there a way to search the content of tickets, not just the subject? Can we add a specific number for SMS to ticket? Okay, so a couple things that I know for sure. So the search for the content of the tickets, that's something that we often get requested. The actual meat of the ticket, I don't believe that is searchable. The subjects are, and that sort of thing, unless you guys found any way to do that? Okay. And then adding a specific number to SMS for the ticket. Does our SMS only use text to the main contact, or if the contact has a cell phone, will it send the, bless you, Tatiana, will it send the message to the contact? Do you guys know?
I'm not 100% sure. I feel like that might be better to go to technical support just to verify.
Evan, that's what I was thinking too. I think it's just the main customer number. I don't know, if you go in and set up that advanced integration with Flow Route. Is it Flow Route? that I think you might be able to do that. So you might, I would check that out.
I think it might be Twilio for the custom,
Twilio.
yeah, for the custom phone number, and then like getting alerts for appointments to your customers, SMS messages and things like that. But yeah, for that main one, I think it'll go just straight to that main phone number. That would be pretty cool though, to like specify like which number you want to text it to. That'd be super cool.
Yes, you can. Yes, Evan. Yeah, you're right. That's kind of what I was thinking too. You can assign a contact to a ticket, but even if the contact has the number, you can't reassign it. Yeah. So I would check out to see if the Twilio integration would allow for that. All right. What else? Anyone else gonna have any to grab in here?
Yes, I'll grab the one from Tim. He says, we are on Connectwise now. If we move to Synchro, what would be migrated over and what would we leave behind? Are there former Connectwise customers willing to give us guidance and expectations? So yes, absolutely. I love this question because we do try to make things as easy as possible for you guys when you're considering making the move to Synchro. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and I'll show you a couple things. Obviously, we have several different importers in our App Center. I'm going to specifically show you the Connectwise one. That's going to give you most of the details. This is going to be a great jumping off point in regards to seeing what is actually going to be brought over from Connectwise. So it'll bring over your customers, which is your company's business name, email, phone number, contacts, name, address, tickets, and ticket notes. We also do have, beyond this importer right here, we do have a way for you to deploy the Synchro agent in bulk for those of you that are using any RMM. That's also going to be here in the App Center. So that's going to be here through the agent installer link, which again will just give you a script to run the Synchro agent in bulk across all of your current endpoints using your current scripting engine. The last thing to mention here too is if you go over to our reports section and if you click import in here, or I'm sorry, not search in here, but just click Control F and search for import. This is how I've done it, is you can also see the different things that you can import via CSV, which is the inventory import, as well as customers would be brought in by the Connectwise importer. There's two other things to mention too that's not going to pull in this report section. If you go over to your customer's profile and you click into contacts, you can also import your contacts in bulk via CSV. And I think the inventory one is, I already showed you guys, but another way to do it is here in the products and services section. If you wanted to do it under inventory modules, you could do import or export via CSV. So those are basically the different ways that I would do it. I would use the Connectwise importer to pull in your customers and tickets on the PSA side, and then use the deployment script that I showed you, import your customers contacts under the customer's profile, and then inventory, you can do that through here. I don't think I'm missing any others, but I could be wrong, so definitely let me know in the chat. And then the best way to get feedback from previous Connectwise users, which we do talk to you guys pretty often, and instead of taking our word for it, you can ask the Synchro community over on our Facebook page. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that into the chat box for you guys, because that is going to be your best source of direct feedback from people, other MSPs that have gone through what you're going through. They can talk about their experience, their process. You guys can get together, send each other messages just to see what your expectations should be around that. So let me know if you have any follow-up questions, Tim. We'll be happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tatiana. I'm going to grab a couple here. Chris is asking, is there a way to export a list of devices, Excel or CSV, for a specific client? Every time I've tried this, I seem to get every machine for all clients. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Chris, the report you're looking for is the asset audit report. And so in reports, it is going to be under the RMM section and then under asset audit. In here, you can specify which client that you want the asset inventory for, and a couple of things in here. So this general search would give me all of the devices attached to this client. I can customize the data that I see here. So if you hit customize, you'll be able to create the searches here. You can also search for a specific asset type. So if you are wanting to filter that way, as well as do it by a saved search as well. So the asset audit is going to be what you're looking for there. I'm going to grab another one from, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, but Nariza. And so is it possible to enable, again, disabled items on our products and services? Yes, that is an option. So in the products and services, if we go, actually, I'll just start from here. So in products and services, where you'll want to go is in inventory modules. There is going to be a view disabled items option. In here, you're going to have the option to re-enable the product. So hopefully that helps for you. And then Scott is asking, where may I create a weekly, monthly reports of all my activities to share with individual customers so they can see how much awesomeness I deliver? Yes, Scott, that's amazing. I feel I'm missing it. That is going to be back in the reports and then under the executive summary report builder. So this is awesome. In here, you can create your own templates for the value that you want to communicate to your clients. So in the new report template, you'll want to insert different elements, so visual elements or text elements, and then you can actually pick what information you'd like to communicate to them. These can be scheduled to go to them, and I actually pulled up a template that we already have available. So in here, you can show them alerts that were detected and resolved, asset health summaries, remote access occurrences, tickets by type, support tickets, and your average time to response, Windows updates coverages. So these are text blocks. And then we also have visual blocks that you can choose from. That way, we just want it to be really pretty, high level, and make sure that they know that no problem, you're taking care of them.
Awesome. I'm going to grab just from Frank, any plans to make international date and time format available for the ticket info on the ticket? This is a request that we have heard often. I know that we're looking into it, understanding that the way that we structure our date and time isn't the same for every country. So we're definitely looking into that. I don't know if I've seen it on the roadmap as of right now, but I will continue to pass that request along, Frank.
I have one here that's also going to be a request. Derek says, strange question here, which it's not strange. I do totally understand where you're coming from here. He says, in the ticket view, we can create a saved ticket search, which is wonderful, but we're unable to apply any grouping on these saved searches, which saves. The grouping must be applied manually each time after. Is there a way to save the grouping on a saved search? So say that 5 times fast. I'm gonna share my screen here and show you guys what he's talking about. So I think this is a really, really great idea. I don't know when something like this would be shipped or if it's on the list, but I'll definitely pass along your request for you. So what he's saying here is if you guys go over to your ticket section and then you click this little symbol right here, grouping options, you can say primary grouping or secondary grouping, and it'll just make your tickets a little bit more organized based on the options that you select here. But what he's saying is, like, if we switch to a different saved search, if there's a way to like apply the primary grouping and secondary grouping only based off of that saved search, which I don't think that there is, because if we modify the filters for the saved search, I don't think there's a way to select the grouping in here. I mean, you can say if it's by default, but yeah, the grouping is a separate separate feature. So I'll definitely pass that along to the team for you. And then I grabbed one more here. I think it's also a request. John says, require time entries on, I have required time entries on ticket comments enabled. Is there a way to not add time to the labor log when a 0 is entered? Oh, interesting. Okay. I don't think there's a way for it to not be added. So like if we click into this ticket, what he's saying is if you go over to the admin section, there's in ticket preferences and additional settings, there's a button that you can click that says require time entries on ticket comments. So let me open up a ticket here real quick. What that does is when you're here in the communication section, you basically can't save you can't submit a note or send an email or a text or anything if you don't enter time. So he's saying if we're just trying to leave a note, like some kind of a note here, and you put 0 in here because that's going to be a required field. If there's a way to just leave that off of the labor log here, and there isn't, it is going to be applied here even if there's 0. So definitely we'll pass that along for you as well. That's it for me.
All right, I was just going to grab this one from Ari. I'm just finally starting to do billing in Synchro, which is great. Awesome. My first bill went out fine and was paid successfully. Also awesome. However, it seemed like the customer had to have a portal login to pay an invoice. Is there a way that I can turn that off so when they get the email, they can just click to pay without needing a portal login? I'm fairly certain that if you're receiving payments via WorldPay or Stripe, it is required that they have a portal login. It's possible with PayPal that, like, I don't know, I think maybe from the email, the link to PayPal can go straight to PayPal, but not with Stripe and WorldPay. I believe that it's essential that you have that portal login.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of ones here. Rob's asking, hi, Rob. Got an email from Syncro about Whmc expert. Can you please explain? So an email did go out. We are notifying all users that our RMM package feature, which enabled a self-guided flow for customers to purchase an RMM package, deploy the agent installer, is being deprecated as a part of our policy inheritance feature rollout. We expect the feature to roll out sometime in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Yes, so there was an option for you to essentially post like a download the RMM package feature like onto your website and have it available as a product for a self-service type of flow that is being deprecated as a part of the new policy inheritance that is coming out. It is scheduled to be seen and implemented within the next 4 to 6 weeks. So we wanted to give ample time for people who are using that feature. And that's, again, kind of giving their customers this like self-service option where they can like go to your website and click in and download the installer themselves. That is going to go ahead and go away. And so that would be the feature that is being deprecated. If you have any other questions, just let us know. Awesome. I'm going to take this other question from Tim. On Connectwise now, we often have change edit time entries after the fact for various reasons. How do we edit time entries in Synchro after a tech has inputted them? Great question. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. So there's actually a couple of nice reports. So especially if it's like somebody else, of course, like not the technician themselves who is making those edits, there'll be 2 reports for you. One is going to be the ticket time by technician report that then you can see at a high level, okay, what are all the times being entered and which ticket is it? If something is on a ticket and then should be altered, you can just pull up the ticket here. And then we can go ahead and pull up the view log. And then we can go ahead and make the edit right there. So that's going to be one way to see it. Another way you can see it is a tech hours report. So if you want to search by a specific technician and then see the time that was spent, and then if something is kind of coming out that, oh, that's not correct, that then you can, again, open up the ticket and then be able to edit the entry again right here in the view log. Hopefully that answers your question. And then Jay has a question. When opening a ticket, can we automatically attach a worksheet to be attached? For example, when a user or a new computer automatically attach a setup checklist. And so Jay, I just want to clarify, is it that you want the checklist for your internal team or do you want it for the end user? So 2 things, if it's for you and your team, you can actually attach checklists to custom fields. And then inside the system tray icon, have those automatically populate inside of your ticket. So a couple of things here in the admin section under tickets that you can create the worksheets. And so when you are creating the worksheets, and so let's go ahead and jump into this one here. The worksheets can be attached to custom fields. And so with the custom field type being selected, when the ticket is opened, it will automatically populate that inside of the ticket. So a couple of ways we would see that. Let's say we were opening a ticket on our end. So as one of your team members, if I was opening the ticket, I could go ahead and hit new ticket. And then as I'm opening the ticket, I could select the custom field type. And this would go ahead and populate the worksheet for me inside the ticket. If you'd like the end user to essentially open a ticket with you and then that custom field be attached, we can do that from the tickets that get opened from the system tray icon. So in your agent contact form, you are able to not only select the specific issue type that you want to be opened from the ticket, but also a custom field type. And so you can have that worksheet attached in there as well. Hopefully that helps.
And Hannah, just to clarifying, it is for the text, but they would like it to be viewable to the customer. Can you show in the ticket template how to make sure that it's viewable?
Sure. So there's a couple ways that if the worksheet is in the ticket that your client could see it. And so in the admin section, that in the worksheet itself, you'll want to make sure that it's enabled as public so that they would be able to see it. And so there's two places that they can see it. So public is going to be that it shows on the ticket PDF when you have it attached. And so that's going to be in your template itself. So in the ticket template, let's go ahead and go back into our ticket here. In the PDF itself, so I think it's going to be large ticket, but then it can go ahead and, oh, I don't have a worksheet in here, sorry. It would put the worksheet in here. Another place you can actually see it is in the portal. So let's go ahead and head over to the customer portal. So if you wanted them to see maybe your progress through the worksheet, you can actually make it visible inside the client portal as well. And so let's go ahead and pop into this one here. So on here, my end user could actually see the worksheet and they can't do anything to it, but they can see your progress through it. So if you're checking things off or selecting drop downs, and then that way, if they wanted to make comments back to you, they could do that right in here.
Awesome. Awesome. I think I had a quick follow-up question from Jay for you, Hannah, or I guess for all of us. The question is, can we add multiple custom field types for multiple worksheets? So I think I'm not 100%. I haven't looked at this. Let me share my screen real quick. I wonder if there's a way to attach multiple worksheets to the same custom field, or if you can do multiple custom fields, you know, off the top of your head?
I'm not sure.
I don't believe you can have multiple custom fields.
Yeah, I think it would have to be. Yeah, okay, perfect. So this is the way that you would set it up is when you go, so, okay, I like got here in 2.3 seconds. So let me backtrack real quick. So if you go to more and then admin, and then you go over to your tickets and then ticket worksheets, let's click into there. Just click into any worksheet or create a brand new worksheet. I'm going to use my virus removal worksheet. And this is where you would want to attach this specific checklist worksheet to a custom field. So you can say, so you, in this case, like you can attach as many worksheets to one specific custom field, but I think, let's go ahead and just create a quick new ticket. I don't think you can have multiple ticket custom fields that are available. So if you're looking for multiple worksheets, I would attach them all to one custom field in that area that I just showed you. Yeah, because then, yeah, so like if you click custom field type, there's no other like second custom field type. So yeah, attach multiple worksheets to one custom field. Let us know if we need to go through that a little bit more in depth, but
oh, he said that works. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Mm-hmm.
Great. I will just grab a couple of these in here. Anthony, are there plans to offer other integrated ACH payment options other than WorldPay element in the future? I do think that's something that we're looking into. I don't necessarily have a time frame. Open to hearing if you have a request. Happy to pass that along. But yes, I believe that we're looking into that. And then let's see. Oh, and then this is a feature request. Scott wants to know one more. When you go admin reports, customer map, is it possible to have client name appear when clicking or hovering the given pin on the map? This is so interesting. Like this map thing, like I think we like went over it on an open office hours one time, like a couple months ago. This feature, it's interesting. This feature was built like when Repair Shopper was first launched years and years ago. And so I think that if we found that MSPs were really leveraging the map, like I definitely think we would think about that. But as of right now, there's no plans to continue to like add there, but happy to pass it along for sure. Let's see. Oh, okay. And then Darren. Yes. So the main question is, how do I view all scripts that are on a reoccurring scheduled without having to click into the script section of every asset? I believe that's something that we're working on right now. That is the way that you can view all of those, but I believe that is something that we're looking into because MSPs want more visibility of those reoccurring scripts. And so definitely going to pass that along, Darren. I think that's it for me right now.
Okay, sounds good. I will go next. So I have a couple ideas here around our worksheets. So I personally also love this feature, so happy to talk more in depth about it. So the first one is from Randy. He says, love the worksheets. Any way users can share their favorite or most used worksheets in the community library. I think that would be super cool. I think like we have the script library through Syncro, like a community script library. I would love to see a worksheets one. I feel like we've talked about that for a while. I don't know how much heavy lifting that would take from the dev side. I think in the Facebook group, I've seen people post screenshots and thread ideas of what they use them for, but I definitely feel like this is something that provides a ton of consistency and just helps everybody stay on the same page, on the same team. So definitely would love to see the community share their ideas there. So Randy, to clarify your second question on the worksheets, the question is, can you have the worksheet come up on a ticket based off of a custom field? Can this be done based on the ticket type? So it cannot be done on based off of the ticket type. What that how worksheets are attached are only on the custom field. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go a little bit deep here, but I'm not going to take too much time because we have still some other questions in the Q&A. So first things first is, yes, when you're creating a brand new ticket, the only way to automatically pull up a worksheet upon ticket creation is to select that custom field type right here. So for me, I have a virus removal custom field type, which pre-populates a bunch of different fields here. So the way that you create custom field types is if you go over to, so again, I already got here, but I'll take you down the path. If you go down to admin, preferences, or I'm sorry, to tickets, and then right here to ticket custom fields. You can create a custom field type. I named mine virus removal custom field type for extreme clarity. And I clicked manage fields here. And this is all of the things that populate that you now see right here. So this is required testing field 1. Here's the new field. Here's all of those. And again, from my side, once you create this custom field type with all of these fields attached, here you go. This is another way that you can now attach a worksheet or multiple worksheets to this specific custom field type, the virus removal custom field type. And then again, it gives you like a little preview of the worksheets that are going to be attached. So yes, the only way to attach a worksheet to a custom field type is to a custom field type. You can't do it to a issue type or a ticket type. The other thing that I'll mention here too is where Hannah was saying with the agent contact forms. This is again, if you select that one custom field type and you have multiple worksheets attached to it, those will be automatically attached that way as well, only on the custom field type. So I hope that helps. Let me know if that just made things even more confusing. We can take a little bit more time, but hopefully that is helpful. Okay, Jay says, how are others using worksheets would be a good topic for open office hours. I like that idea. Maybe we can come up with like 1 or 2 specific examples. I mean, I know we kind of just covered what the functionality of them would be, how you can attach them, how you can set them up, but maybe like 1 or 2 use case scenarios. Definitely can write that down for like a brainstorming session, and then we can share some of those examples with you guys since we don't have a library yet. So I love that suggestion, Jay. And then says, Jay says, can adding worksheet be automated based on ticket type or customer? So I wish it could be based on customer. I feel like that would be super useful, but right now it's only off of the custom field type. So hopefully that's helpful there too. Another quick question here I'll grab since I'm unmuted. It says, can we add multiple technicians to a ticket? So not at this time. You can add subscribers though. So for example, if you're creating a brand new ticket, so let's just do this one that we're working on. We'll say Tatiana ticket. Here's my notes. We'll go ahead and attach that virus removal, add that. So this is, I am the demo engineer as the tech. Assignee is right here, demo engineer. So you can't select multiple people to be attached here, but let's say this assignee was actually Amy Janey. I can be a subscriber to this ticket. So if I subscribe, I'm going to get any updates on anything happening on this ticket, but you can't have like 4 techs on the same ticket through Synchro at this time. That's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to take this feature request from Darren. Darren, this is awesome. We will pass this along for you. Feature request, the ability to sort by check type on the RMM alerts page. There are a lot of different pages that could benefit from having additional column headers sortable. I definitely understand that as well. We will pass that along. I can agree with you there. So on the alerts tab, what he is checking out is that on alerts, he would like the check type to be sortable. That's awesome. I will pass that along. And then I'm going to take Tim's question here. We keep a modest amount of inventory. How does the procurement process look in Synchro, i.e. POs, receiving inventory, getting that inventory to a customer, and finally billing the customer and updating inventory? Great question. So I'm going to start in the products and services section. Most people, when they are setting up Synchro, they're going to import products from their existing accounting software. So if you're integrating with QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, or Xero, bringing in the products that they offer. Then they'll go ahead and set up their vendors. And so with vendor setup inside of Synchro, it doesn't automatically connect to the vendor themselves to get pricing. However, you can set up their information, who you contact to get new products from, as well as their email addresses. And then once the vendors are set up, you can associate vendors with your products. And then in Synchro, we'll have a purchase order. And so then that way you can create purchase orders to bring items in stock. So it's a really easy way to go ahead and set up, okay, the tracking information, when did we order it? What do we need to order? So if we have an open purchase order, it will allow us to add in low stock items from this vendor. Pending items are going to be items that were added onto tickets if there was no stock. And then you can actually email it to the vendor from what you've set up. Then from there, we can go ahead and mark it ordered, go ahead and check it on in. And on check-in, it will go ahead and let you receive the items into your inventory and then go ahead and finish the purchase order. Once those items are inside of inventory, your team members can go ahead and add those items onto tickets. And so if we go ahead and pop into a specific ticket, that will be done in the Add View Charges button. So up here, I can go ahead and pull items that have inventory or have stock. So I can go ahead and add that there and then go ahead and select the serial numbers. Here, this product doesn't have any serial numbers selected, but you could go ahead and select the one that you need. And then when you hit Save Changes, that will go ahead and pull it from stock. And then now that that item is in the Add View Charges, it's ready to be on your customer's invoice.
Is it me? I'll go next. Sorry about that. Randy says, is there a different custom fields between tickets and the agent contact form? So would this have to be set up twice? Also, is there any way to update the custom field based on the ticket type, for example, through automated remediation? Okay, love this. Love the way that you're thinking about this, Randy. Yes, let me share my screen. I'm going to clarify a couple things. So to clarify, there's only one set of ticket custom. So there's multiple different types of custom fields through Synchro. There's one for customers, there's one for contacts, I believe, there's one for assets, and there's one for tickets. So the tickets one is the one that I'm going to specifically talk about here. If you go to admin section and then to your tickets, this is the only ticket custom fields that you would need to set up. And this is the one that will pull into the agent contact form. So when you set up your ticket custom fields, again, I'll go back to my virus removal custom field type. You only need to set this up the one time. And then this is the exact drop-down menu. This list of ticket custom fields is going to be the drop-down menu for you to choose from when you are setting up your, if you go over to your policies, policy modules, agent contact forms. And I called an agent contact form. I have a virus just to stay on theme here and then scroll down just a little bit. And then right here, your custom field types, this is maybe we should put ticket custom field types in here. Because again, this is that exact list that we're working from right here for your regular ticket custom field types. So that answers the first part of your question. The second part of your question is yes, you actually can pull in your ticket custom field types into your automated remediation. So I love this idea because this way you actually can add custom field types based on a customer here. So hang with me for just a second. You head over to your automated remediation. If you set a condition in here, alert body is, or trigger category is problem XYZ, whatever it might be. You can set a second condition here to say customer is Larry's business. So if this problem happens for this customer, I want to create this ticket. And right here you go, custom field type. You can say, yep, it's going to be a virus removal worksheet. And then again, it'll populate virus removal custom field type or virus removal ticket custom field type. Again, it will populate that worksheet once this ticket gets automatically created for you based off of this automated remediation there. And then one last thing that I didn't have a chance to take a look at is through our ticket automations. I don't know if you can pull in ticket custom fields, so we're gonna explore this together on the fly here. I don't see custom fields here for the conditions. Let's see if it'll do it for custom email address. Nope, I don't see it. So unless there's custom field asset type, looks like there might be an option here in the tags. Randy, I would search in the tags, but I think the automated remediation is the one that would be the most useful because again, it'll attach that worksheet for you there. Great question. Love that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Tyron has a question. I'm having a hard time getting Synchro to customize invoice templates, which get synced to QuickBooks Online. Is it possible to demonstrate how to customize the data in an invoice, namely date, product type, description with just ticket, subject, name, quantity, price, and line item in total? And so, yes, I think you are referring to what actually shows up on the invoice itself. And so if we go into a invoice, and I'm going to go ahead and check out this one, for example. And so I think you are referring to, and I'm going to pull up the PDF here, what data goes kind of like in the description here. If you're wanting to edit what goes in this description, that's actually going to be in the admin section under tickets. So in admin, and then if we go to tickets and then preferences, that setting is in additional settings. And so under additional settings, there is going to be an option for customized text for ticket charges or customized text for ticket timer charges. And so in here, you can actually use tags. So if you just want to use exactly what you're mentioning, like ticket subject, and then have that in there, and then as well as like name, that then you can use a tag in there, and then that would be what's in your description line. And then of course, you'll want to go ahead and make any other edits in the PDF and email templates, and then under invoice template. So those would be in the admin section for you. Hopefully that helps. I'm going to grab this other one from Frank. Can we assign multiple tickets to an invoice? At this point, we can only choose one ticket for related ticket. If we create an invoice without a related ticket, is it correct that we cannot attach an invoice ticket template, which give ticket details for all tickets included in the invoice? And then he says, hope that makes sense. Yes, I think it does make sense, Frank. So two things I wanted to show you. One is in the recurring invoice. So I'm wondering what your workflow is, because some people have where it's like, hey, this is kind of not as much of a recurring customers with me as it is just an ad hoc customer that they call, and when they have any problem, of course, I do the ad hoc work for them, but then I want to bill them for all of the work that I do within a month, and then on one invoice. And so you can actually create them a recurring invoice, but on the recurring invoice, you're just going to select the option to add any pending ticket charges. This will then create them an invoice with all of the charges that they've accrued throughout that month with you. And so in there, you can go ahead and select within the schedule to bill them monthly, and then when you want to run it next, And then the add any pending ticket charges will just pull any charges that you have that they have open with you. And you can even specify at a specific status onto their invoice. Another thing that you can do is if you are within a ticket and you are going to invoice that ticket. So let's say, okay, we're going to invoice this ticket. And then maybe the client does have some other open charges with you that you're wanting to add to the invoice. Synchro will actually give you the option to add that when you are creating that invoice. So we just created this invoice. We can now add any other pending charges that this customer has with us onto this invoice. And then that will go ahead and update the second page, which you're seeing, which would be like the ticket details part. So that's going to be this second page here. It'll go ahead and add in all the relevant tickets that have been billed on this invoice. With the second question, if you're just making an invoice without a ticket, it just won't have that second page because there won't be any ticket notes associated. And so hopefully that helps.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, Hannah. Jay says, I'd like to see ideas of how others are using ticket automations in another session. So yes, I hear you on that one. We actually have done this. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to drop this link into the chat box for you guys in just a second. But if you haven't seen our YouTube channel, it is actually pretty packed with a ton of videos, a ton of really useful information. This specific video right here is going to be a deep dive on ticket automations. And Carla, who's our implementation specialist, is going to be the one that will walk you through specific concrete examples of how to set up your ticket automation and how it's popularly used. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that into the chat box for you guys. And then for the other question that I had here is from I think it was from Jay. Yep. Says, when allowing a customer to add custom fields or work, can the available worksheets be filtered so the customer only sees what's applied to them, not everyone in the system? So there's two approaches here. So to answer your question, it depends. So I'll show you. I think the one that you're referring to is the agent contact form. So when you go over to your policies, let's say we're looking at, Alan's test policy. And if we scroll down all the way down to the bottom, this is where you would, when you're building out the device system tray for the end user to find, to basically know what options they have to choose from. And again, I'll show you this from the end user's perspective as well. But you can say, I want them to go to, I want them to be able to chat with me. I want them to go to my website. So put in a URL in there. And then this is where the agent contact form that you've built that already has that ticket custom field attached to it, that already has the worksheet attached to it, is going to come into play. So this is where you can say, I only want, whoever your customer Alan is, I want only them I want this policy to apply to a list of their assets, and only these assets will be able to choose from this menu, which has this attached agent contact form, which has this custom field with the attached worksheet. So I know that's like 5 different steps to kind of organize it together, but let me show you what this looks like from their perspective. So let me show you. So if we go over to assets in RMM, I'm going to launch into a remote session here. And I want to know which policy is actually applying to this asset. So it looks like it's the base package that's applying here. So if we look at this from the end user's perspective, this is going to be what they see from their side. Your logo here, obviously in the system tray icon. And then again, this menu that they're choosing from is the one that we just built together. Let me go to that specific base package. This one is the one that's applying to my demo Win 10 machine, which is listed right here. So we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom to the device system tray menu. And again, for mine, I have multiple agent contact forms. I have a support request. I have one called emergency. I have one called I have a virus. So again, you can build multiple agent contact forms so that when they click, for example, I have a virus, that form is still going to look exactly the same. you're just giving them multiple different custom fields on the back end. They're not actually seeing any differences in the options that they're selecting. So really you can say like regular support request or super emergency support request. So again, I'm going to follow through with my I have a virus agent contact form. So I'm going to say hi, whoops, and then hello, include a screenshot. All right, this can happen super fast. Send request. Here's the ticket. We're going to view the ticket. And here is that virus removal worksheet that's attached already automatically. Again, because with that agent contact form, with this, I have a virus agent contact form. It has that custom field attached with that worksheet attached. So I'll show you that as well, and then we'll move on to something else. But again, here's my I have a virus agent contact form that has that custom field, virus removal custom field type that has that worksheet attached, which is how it automatically populated by the customer selecting that option. So let me know if that helps. Gary, you said chat is your post. I haven't pasted it. Would you let me, I'm going to do that right now. Would you please let me know? Whoops, I think I lost it. Hold on. There you go. Would you let me know if you see that link that I just dropped into the chat box, Gary, or anybody else? We would appreciate that because yeah, we do drop a ton of chats in there.
I can see it, but yeah, Gary, make sure you can see it.
Yeah, got it. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Thanks.
Yay. Okay, I'm going to take a couple questions here. Nariza is asking, once maintained stock quantity on an item has been saved, can you still edit the quantity manually if the quantity that has been previously encoded was incorrect? The answer is no. You have to use a purchase order to do that, just like you're saying. It says edit through the purchase order. So you must use a purchase order to do that. And then Tim is asking, since we're in the inventory module, can you show how we can bundle, say, 3 components to create one? We build PCs and servers, so it'd be helpful to watch the process. Yes, no problem. So I'm going to be here in my inventory bundles. How I get there is going to be in the products and services section, and then under inventory modules, and then we're going to go to bundle items. So in the bundles, then we will want to go ahead and create a new inventory bundle. And so we'll just put, I already was kind of doing one, open office hour bundle. This is Tim's bundle. And then you can create a UPC code if you need, but we'll go ahead and create that bundle together. So now here is our bundle, and we're going to go ahead and pull items into the bundle. So let's say it's like a laptop. So we'll grab one of those. And then we will also do like a mouse there. And then let's also do we have keyboard? Let's see. Oh, fancy keyboard. Nice. Okay. So now we have our bundle put together. And so we can see our cost and our original price. And so let's say, okay, we actually just want to show one price to our client. And maybe it's not even this price. So let's say, okay, if they bundle everything together, it's a little bit of a deal, and we're going to offer this to them at $9.99. And then we'll go ahead and save that. And so now to the client, when you add this onto a invoice, it will just be at the bundle price, which they're going to go ahead and see there. Hopefully that helps you, Tim. Let us know if you have any other questions.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. I'll grab this one from Randy. He says, I don't think I've ever used agent contact forms before. Can you go over how that's used? Sorry if I missed it. I can watch it the feed later. So yes, no worries. Happy to cover that. I did just drop into the chat box. I think it was Brandy that did a deep dive on agent contact forms a little while back. So if you want it to be super, super in depth, every possible as detailed, that video is going to be a great resource for you. But I'm going to give just a quick overview here today. As well, because again, that deep dive will cover like every single possible button you need to click. So big picture wise here, when you're setting up your policies through Synchro, if you go over to your policy modules and agent contact forms, this is the tab that I have open here. You can have as many of these as you want. I called one of them, I have a virus, an emergency one, a regular support request, or whatever it might be. So what this does is this basically builds out a the form that your customer is going to be able to see and fill out from their system tray icon. So again, you build this out, you name it whatever you want. You can use your logo or theirs. Again, I'm not going to go through a ton of these settings, but the point is this is where you can attach that ticket custom field type, which can have the attached worksheet type to it as well. But big picture wise is, again, once you've built out a policy, so in my base package is where I have my multiple options of the system tray menu that have the multiple versions of the agent contact form as different options for the end user to choose from. So again, I found an endpoint that has the base policy attached to it. And then right here, when we're remoted into the end users, this is what it looks like from their perspective. So you've built the policy, you've created multiple agent contact forms, you've applied that policy to the asset, and this is what it looks like for them. So again, it would be obviously your logo here, and then this is the menu that they have to choose from based on what you built for them right here in this policy for the system tray menu. And again, the options that they're seeing is just only the display, like the menu title, support request, support portal, emergency ticket, I have a virus. And then right here, you have that actual which agent contact form, like which settings you want to be applied when they submit that ticket. So again, from their perspective, no matter which agent contact form that they use, they're all going to have the same exact same layout from the end user's perspective. But on your side, you can have different custom fields attached, worksheets when that ticket flows into the Synchro system once your end user submits it. So that's basically like the 2-minute version. If you want the deep dive, go ahead and follow that link. And then I think I had a couple other questions here. So I'll grab this one from Tim. He says, we do a lot of hardware as a service. Is there a good way in Synchro to manage that? Is it an asset? Can we print asset tags to place on hardware assets? Yes, that's exactly how you would do it. Let me share my screen here. And we're going to clean these up. And we're going to go over to our assets and RMM section. So through Synchro, you can obviously manage workstations or servers as Synchro devices that have the Synchro agent deployed on them. You also have your SNMP devices, routers, printers, switches, firewalls, anything like that is available to be monitored through Synchro. And then you also have the freedom to do whatever else that you want. You can basically create any type of asset that you could possibly imagine. I put any fake asset. You can literally create, mouse, keyboard, fancy keyboard, whatever it might be, that is not a Synchro device or an SNMP device. So when you click create asset, you would just say modify asset types. And this is where you would build those out, create them as an asset type. And then once you actually have that built out and the asset now exists, yes, you would be able to print a label for any of these. So like I'm going to click into, I don't know, this iPad testing one. In the top right corner, you'll see this little PDF box. And that's going to be the label with the barcode scanner. You can use the Synchro mobile app for that. And you can actually redesign what this PDF looks like in our PDF and email section over in the admin section of Synchro. Let me know if that helps. Yes, you got it. You're welcome, Randy. Happy to help.
Okay, I think it's my turn. I was just going to read this one from Randy. Is there a way to mark invoices in Synchro as paid without sending a new payment to QuickBooks Online? We take payments in QuickBooks Online and they seem to get out of sync with Synchro. If I try to fix this, Synchro generates an additional payment in QuickBooks Online that I then have to delete. So if things get out of sync, I know there's like different ways, like if the sync gets delayed or something like that, I have heard that. If there isn't a way to, I guess, refresh to make sure that sync, or if there is an error to make sure that sync actually happens, if that can't be solved that way, you actually have to go into your QuickBooks settings and turn off the payment sync on the Synchro side to then update your invoices. Because if you don't turn off that sync, there is no way to not sync that payment back to QuickBooks Online. Okay, is there a way to handle this scenario in Synchro? We had an internet outage in our area that lasted several hours. This caused a ton of tickets all at once for the same issue. Is there a way to add them to a master ticket so that we can spend less time responding to each customer? So I wanted to read this one out loud. And Hannah and Tatiana, if you have ideas on this, I don't have like a solid solution on how to triage that. I know that, internally, if there's anything going on with Synchro and we get a bunch of tickets at one time, like I know that there's not a way to do that. Like I know that that's not a thing. Do you have something on that, Hannah?
You can like, other than like merging them all into the same ticket, like you would have to like merge them. I don't think you can bulk merge right now. You can't do it. You'd have to do it one by one, but there is a way to like bulk update tickets. So let's say
cool.
I had
Good
a
idea.
bunch of tickets that, were obviously the same issue. Instead of having to merge them, I can just bulk update them and like into an in progress status and then assign them like to somebody. And then I can add a public comment that then gets emailed to them. So it's like, hey, we know of this internet issue, no problem, we're on it. And so be able to bulk send that out to all of the people who've opened those tickets. And then kind of when the issue is resolved, be able to bulk update them and then bulk update the status to resolved.
That's perfect. I love that. Perfect idea. Very good. Awesome. We do not integrate with WHMCS. I will openly admit that I had to Google what that was, but it is a web hosting, billing, and automation platform. I didn't know that right off the top of my head, but we do not integrate. No, we do not. Let's see. I think that was all that I grabbed for right now.
Yeah, I have a quick question here from Tim. He says, is there a way to know if the PC is idle? For example, if the user is away for a while, helpful to jump on to do tasks to not interrupt the end user. So I have a couple quick suggestions here for you. The first one is you can always, if you know which endpoint that you want to quickly remote into, you can always use this little quick view modal, which if you scroll down, like this is literally a live preview of whatever they're doing on their endpoint right here. So you could, even without clicking into the endpoint, you can preview it there. Or if you do click into the endpoint, I think this refreshes like super quickly. I think less than 5 seconds. It's like 2 or 3 or 5 seconds. It's pretty quick. So like if their mouse is moving around, you'd be able to see that. The other thing is we do have backgrounding tools available through Syncro. All of these are actions that you can do without disturbing your end user at all. So obviously, if they're not on the endpoint or they are and you just want to like quickly move some files around or whatever it might be, a lot of this is information that you have access to without having to disturb the end user at all. So those are some quick thoughts that I had off the top of my head. If anybody else has suggestions or anything like that, definitely let us know, but hopefully that helps. And then real quick, Gary says we need a clone feature for assets. Gary, can you tell me a little bit more about that? I'm curious. You mean like if you have like 10,000 keyboards that you're trying to keep inventory of or something like that? Because I know you can export via CSV, edit the CSV, and then re-import via CSV for assets, like manual assets specifically. So I'm curious if that would be useful to you. Otherwise, I'm not sure of another use case scenario. Clone the asset type configuration. Okay, when you're building out the manual asset types. Okay, got it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, like if you've built out like 12 custom fields of like serial number, IP address, stuff like you mean, okay, I got it. I got you, Gary. I'll
Same,
pass it
Gary,
along to the
same.
team. Yeah, I hear you.
Awesome. And then the last one I'll grab, and I see we've got 1 minute left. Jay, I love this request. It's like, this is the feature that I will just make sure happens. It's to develop a part where we can format the notes section, for instance, adding bullet points or underlining. So in ticket comments, rich text editor is what I will shout it from the rooftops that this is like one of the things that I for sure want. So I will pass this along as well. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Tatiana. You guys are true product experts. So I appreciate having everyone here today. So thank you so much. Happy Friday. Have a happy, safe, and healthy weekend. Bye, everyone.